which is making sure we represent every person that's brand new to the Rich University family. We're so excited that you're here. We know that we're so much better because you are on board. Oh my gosh, I didn't invite the new guy. I don't know. So with that being said, if you are hearing this call for the first time, we want to just show you some rich and royal love. If you have a new member that you introduced to the family and they're on with us tonight, which they should be, we want to show you some rich and royal love by acknowledging you. So if you're here for the first time, never been on our Team Huddle call, I definitely want to show you guys some love. Or if you have a brand new member, we definitely want to show you some love. So go ahead and unmute the line. Let us know who's out there, what city you're calling from, who connected you to this amazing community. And we're so happy to have you on board. So go ahead, unmute if you're brand new or if you have a new member that's on with us tonight. Who do we have?
My name is Crystal Johnson, and I'm under Latasha Wilson, Detroit, Michigan.
Hi, Crystal Johnson. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Rich family. We're so excited to have you on board. Woo-hoo! Go ahead, family.
Glad to be
show us some rich and royal love. You know how we do. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, Crystal. Big, big, major things are happening. In fact, there is something happening in Detroit on the 11th of April, I believe the date is. We'll get that to you for sure. I'll be in Detroit. We're finalizing details right now, but I'm looking forward to it. And Tasha's doing some big things, so welcome to the family. All those ones are for you, boo. Yes, yes, yes. Who's next? Welcome to the team. You're on the call for the first time. If you have a member that's on for the first time, go ahead, press *6, unmute your line by unclicking the microphone so that we can hear you.
Hi, I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm Davinia.
Hi, Davinia. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I'm under Logic or Andre. So this is my first, I guess, team meeting, and I'm super excited. And yay, let's go.
Awesome, Davinia. We're so excited to have you on board. Yay! Woo! Let's do it. Put your ones in the chat. Put your ones in the chat. Ripping it up. I love, love, love it. Awesome sauce. Let's make it happen. All of those ones in the chat are for you. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who else is on? Go ahead, unmute your line. Let us know if it's your first time on. If you invited somebody and they just joined the family and it's their first time on the Team Huddle call, we'd love to hear from you.
Hi, Dr. Chyna. Good evening. It's Katari.
Hi, Katari. Good night.
Of that, I would like to welcome Martha and Lillian. They just joined this Saturday, so I don't see them on the call. Probably they're at work, but yes, I just want to welcome them.
All right, Martha and Lillian, welcome to the family. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Show them some rich and royal love.
Thank you.
Hi, Martha. We see you. Look at
Hi. I'm so excited. Hi.
Those ones in the chat are for you. Yes, yes. yes.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you on board.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome stars. Who else is out there? And Lillian, are you on? We got one.
I'm new.
Lillian. All right. Who's next? Brand new to the family.
Charles, I'm new.
Hi, Charles Chapman. You are new. Welcome to the family. Where are you connecting in from?
You said what?
Let everyone know where you're connecting in from.
I'm connected under Sharita and Greg Scott in Fresno, California. I just started, I think, Friday.
Awesome stars. We're so excited to have you on board. Charles is already kicking butt. I literally just got off of a call for him tonight for a top networker. So welcome to the family. Guys, put your ones in the chat. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Sharita Smalls. Go ahead and put them ones in the chat, everybody. From Mr. Charles Chapman that's ripping it up. Woo-hoo! One it up. Yes, yes. I love it. We love celebrating here, which is why God is always giving us something to celebrate. Who's next? Who else is out there?
Hi, Dr. Chyna, it's LaVonna Miller, and I have Lance Miller, a new member from Atlanta.
Awesome, LaVonna Miller. Welcome. We're excited to have you on board, Lance Miller. Welcome to the family. Put your ones in the chat. Show Mr. Lance Miller some love in the chat.
Thank y'all.
One it up. Lance, this is for you. They're showing you some rich and royal love. We're excited to have you on board.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. Super excited. Who's next? Who's next? Anybody else is next online? If not, we're going to go ahead and get started with the call.
Yeah, this is Julia from Palmdale, California.
Hi, Julia. Welcome to the line. Thanks so much for being on with us.
Thank you.
We're super excited to have you on, Julia. Put some ones in the chat. Show Julia some rich and royal love tonight.
One it up. Woo, woo, woo.
That's right. All right, anybody else before we get started? You know we have a special guest on tonight, but we have to make sure we show royal love to every single person that's on with us. Remember, get your team members on. You don't want them to miss this call. All right, going once, going twice. Anybody else brand new on the line? Hey, who's that? All right, give me 1 second. All right, boom, here we go. So guys, listen, I'm so excited tonight. I am so excited tonight. We're always wanting to give you value, and as much value as we possibly can. Hey, Cynthia, welcome. Thanks so much for being on. We want to give you as much value as we possibly can, and so we are so honored tonight. This is why it's so important for you to get your team members on. We have some training that we're going to be doing tonight on this call. And the software developer of many of the softwares in iMarkets Live is on with us tonight. So we're excited about what's about to happen for many of you. And I want you to pay very close attention, whether you're brand new or you've been on board for a while. You know, we just want to show you the amount of immense value that we have in this company. We want to share with you the tools. We're always bringing you as much insight as we can, because what we know in this space is that you really have to identify who you are in this trading space. Everybody's not going to have the same style. Everybody's not going to always use the exact same tools, but I'm excited because we're going to be working very closely with Steve Hooley. He is the creator of the Web Analyzer as well as many other tools. Tonight we're focusing on the Web Analyzer, a tool that my husband absolutely loves to use. I'm excited to learn how to use the Web Analyzer because there is so much money in that tool. So continue to get your team members on the line. Take notes. If you're brand new and some of this doesn't make sense to you, it's absolutely okay. If it goes over your head a little bit, it's absolutely okay. What it should do, no matter what, is give you the confidence that we are providing as much value as possible to you, as well as to the people that you are going to be promoting this opportunity to. So with that being said, without any further ado, we do have some updates and some things that we're going to talk about. But let's get the special guest on. Let's get you guys asking some questions for him, and then we'll close out with some of the announcements that we need to make. So without any further ado, I'm super duper excited to introduce to some, present to others, the programmer for iMarkets Live. He's done an amazing job at putting a lot of things together that help us to go from where we were to where we are now, but more importantly, from where we are now to where we're going. He is working behind the scenes directly with Mr. Christopher Terry to make this thing happen. And so without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome Mr. Steve Hooley to the line. Welcome to the call, Steve Hooley. We're super duper excited to have you on with us tonight.
Thanks, Chyna. I really appreciate it. You guys sound like you're having an amazing call tonight. I can feel the energy, and it's so awesome. I just want to say that.
Yeah,
so,
we like high energy. We know it's 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast, so we got to keep people pumped up, and we got to celebrate everybody. But more importantly, I think a lot of them are also excited because you're on with us. We want to say thank you to even Dr. Regina for really connecting some of the dots and really seeing the amazing value in the Web Analyzer. So let's make history tonight with you, Steve Hooley, and go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right. Yeah. You know, you guys, I feel so grateful and blessed to be able to be here and train with you guys. I feel such a high sense of gratitude. You know, I've been working with Dr. Regina, and I've been working with her family and Dr. Kathy and a little bit with Chyna as well to really put training together for you guys that will be massively beneficial. If any of you guys, I know there's some of you on this call, and I know some of you will watch this recording. So if any of you guys are actually in the IML Web Analyzer Facebook group, then you'll have seen that recently we've done some Facebook Lives with especially Dr. Kathy. She's an amazing woman, and she's a big part of this organization. And she happens to have a strategy that is just so simple, right? It's so simple. So it's been a blessing and an honor to get to work with her, to get to show so many different customers. And tonight, my goal here is really to get you guys introduced to the Web Analyzer, because I know we have people on here who are probably a little familiar with it, but I've been told that we have some brand new people to the company, some brand new people to the Web Analyzer. So I want to make sure you guys are properly trained on it. You kind of get an understanding of it. And also, you guys know where to go to figure out more information or questions you guys have. So that's going to be my primary focus tonight with all of you guys. So right now, I'm going to pull up my chart. I'm going to pull up the Web Analyzer, and we're going to get started. If you guys need a notebook or anything, however you guys take notes, do me a favor, grab a notebook, grab your phone, grab whatever you take notes with, and let's go ahead and take a few notes down. So let me share my screen real quick. Oh, you're absolutely welcome. I can see some people in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen now. Now, this is the Web Analyzer, okay? And you log in, right? You log in and you're faced with the screen. Now, I do want to say that in the next coming weeks, we're rolling out a new home page to the Web Analyzer that's going to further kind of separate things and features into tiers. But for now, I'm just going to go over what we have here on the screen and really how it benefits you. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to find a benefit in the education and tools that we have in this company, right? We're all here to win. And so that's my job tonight is to teach you this. So the first thing you're probably going to notice is you have a chart here and you have these red and green boxes, right? Now these red and green boxes are high probability setups, okay? Green means look for its potential buy. Red means look for a potential sell. But what makes the Web Analyzer a little bit more special than some of the other tools, both in iMarkets Live and in the industry, is in the way you use it and in the why. So remember these two things. It's in the way you use it and in the why, okay? Now let me explain what I mean by that. You'll notice that right here, if I go to click on this, it's gonna pull up a chart for AUD USD, right? It's gonna pull up a chart on the same time frame, and it's gonna say what price it was called at, and it's gonna say what time it was called at, because notice the chart time is in UTC. We can see that down at the bottom right-hand corner, right? And then how much time has passed and everything. Makes sense? We can see this information, but one thing that you're gonna wanna take note of, especially if you're brand new, is when we're placing trades on the chart, we need to have what's called a stop loss and take profit, okay? A stop loss and take profit is how we are able to catch our pips. And while I'm not making a guarantee here, what I am saying is if you do catch pips, you have the potential to make money. If you don't catch pips, you don't really have the potential to make any money, right? So in order to catch the pips, we need our stop loss and take profit. And in the Web Analyzer, the way we do that is really unique. There's really not another software that does it this way. We have multiple different strategies. Rather than just have an algorithm or a trader on the back end or a team of traders call the data for you, we have an algorithm that's calling the high probability setups, and then you're pairing that with a strategy. So these red and green boxes, to be clear, you don't take them all by themselves. If it says potential buy, you don't actually just hop into a buy. You use the strategy to qualify what you're doing. And what do I mean by strategy, right? What do I mean by, well, Stephen, what is a strategy? A strategy is a set of rules that dictate, right? A strategy is a set of rules that say if I should get into a trade, when I should get into a trade, why I should get into a trade, okay? They're your rules. And your rules can consist of these squiggly lines on the chart. We call these indicators, for those of you who are new. We call these indicators, okay? They can consist of this is called a Bollinger Band, this blue bubble. They can consist of these dots. They can consist of the candlesticks themselves, these red and green bars on the chart. They can consist of the time of day, the session, right? You can note the session that you're trading in here. And that's your rules, right? Really what it comes down to is you follow the rules, and that's really it, okay? So let's say we wanted to apply the rules of Dr. Kathy, right? Dr. Kathy's rules are called the ECC 11 strategy. What you're seeing on my screen right now is a way to apply the ECC 11 strategy or rules, okay? Now I'm gonna do this one more time so you guys can get a look and feel of how exactly I just did that, because I wanna make sure that everybody understands. But I'm clicking here down at the bottom of the screen where it says strategy. It's popping up this, okay? It's popping up this, and in the drop-down box, I'm selecting ECC 11 strategy. And then if you're on Safari desktop or mobile, usually this is on your phone or Safari on a Mac, you're gonna wanna press this Save for Safari button. For some weird reason, Apple has programmed Safari to be a little bit different than other browsers, and so we just need this button. And then we just click this gold button at the top, and you notice that this whole application changed, and the indicators, those squiggly lines on the chart, changed. Now this is really important because now you have the potential to see the market the way Dr. Kathy sees it and utilize the rules that she teaches it, okay? And we might configure some of these, right? We might configure some of these rules to match Dr. Kathy, and we might configure this as well, maybe some of the colors, okay? And what's gonna happen is Dr. Kathy says, okay, when this line is down here or up here, and when the red line is on top, or you have the rules, right? And I'll show you where to find these rules in just a moment. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to this side, okay? We're gonna go over to this side and we're gonna say, okay, this says a potential sell on AUD USD. So in order to get the rules for Dr. Kathy's strategy, okay, in order to get the rules, we watch a video and we follow those rules on this alert. Think of this like your reference in time. This is a really good analogy. Think of the web analyzer as kind of like your magic scope, right? Anybody can have a gun. Anybody can go pick up a gun and try to shoot the gun. That doesn't mean you're gonna be able to aim or really know where to look with the gun, right? So imagine if you could put this magic scope on your gun and it knows exactly where to look, and then your strategy, your rules tell you when or if you should pull the trigger, okay? And so you're gonna apply those rules to know whether or not you pull the trigger. Where we find Dr. Kathy's strategy to be able to watch it is a couple of different places. We can find it in the Facebook group, okay? In the IML Web Analyzer Facebook group, where we do a lot of trainings, a lot of live webinars with different educators and different strategies. We can also look in the education and help section, okay? And in this section, it's got a strategies section, okay? This names a lot of the strategies, but where we watch the video is in here. So we would go in here and we'd pick out the strategy, okay? Now, in the Web Analyzer Facebook group, we have a specific video that you can search for by just searching Dr. Kathy in the search box. You see what I did? I just went to the left-hand side and I just searched for Dr. Kathy. And then I'm just gonna scroll down past these amazing customer reviews, right? I hope you're looking at these. Gotta be thankful for Dr. Kathy, 48 out of 54 in profit. You saw it here, 35 wins, 1 loss. But this is Dr. Kathy's training, this right here, okay? So this video, I'm gonna put this link in the chat for you guys, in this chat right here, so you guys can watch this. This is gonna show you the rules that you're gonna need to apply. How will you set up this? What colors will you choose? One tip I can give you that should be in the video as well is when you set these parameters, make sure you click Save as Default so that you won't have to apply these again and then click OK, okay? Now, this is the base of the web analyzer, right? These are the red and green boxes, the original side of the web analyzer. And we have other features that really help your trading. I designed this to be a one-stop shop for your trading, okay? A one-stop shop. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them in the chat. I'll be kind of monitoring that at the same time that I'm speaking. Some other features that are going to be really helpful for you guys is the ability to say, hey, look, I don't want to take anything on the 5-minute calls, okay? I don't want to take any 5-minute calls. I only want to take M15 and up, which Dr. Kathy has stated sometimes that's her favorite thing to do. Other users of the ECC11 strategy do, however, use the M5 time frame, okay, the 5-minute time frame, and some of them use the higher time frames, okay? But this is a little feature where you can kind of make the other time frame calls disappear, okay? You also have the ability to check high impact news. When there's high impact news, you're gonna get alerted here with what the news is, who's speaking, and what the pair it belongs to. What I mean by pair is right here you have AUD USD, right? So if you were to see high impact news for USD, you may choose to stay out of the markets and not trade. You can see right here that one of the users says, I am now 48 out of 54 in profit, and I lost 6 trades that were closed partially because not wanting to be caught up with the news. So part of how you could be alerted to whether or not there's news is right here. You'll see a little exclamation point right here that will notify you of the news. It's just one of those little features that just helps, okay? I already pointed out the session feature. Now, what a session really is what time of the day different banks and exchanges around the world are open. What that really just means to you is that different times during the day, different parts of the world are more active in their currency exchange with the money flowing in the world. And so certain strategies work better during certain sessions than they do other sessions, okay? For example, the London session is a very volatile and fast-moving session. So trades happen quickly. For some people, this is very fun. But for other people, that might move too quick. And so you may want to be in a session like right now where the markets are a little bit more quiet and they move a little bit slower. This would be the crossover between Aussie session, represented by the kangaroo, and Asia session, represented by the Asian arch, okay? Then you have the Statue of Liberty, and you have Big Ben. These are highlighted by my mouse at the bottom screen. Just some little features, okay? We also have trade ideas on the web analyzer. Now, these are free trade ideas. These are when our educators come in and tell you guys.
Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Where was that again?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The kangaroo and the different.
Right. Let me highlight that right down here. Right here where I'm highlighting session. Can you see that?
I can't. I don't know if it's because I don't know why I can't see that.
Can you see my mouse?
I can see your mouse when it's by the numbers at the bottom, March 25th and all of that. I don't see it. I see it at the top now.
Okay, but lower than, say, the 229 UTC, you don't see this?
I don't, but that may be because I have the panel on for the Zoom. Oh, you know
yeah,
what?
we definitely want to make sure everybody's able to see what I'm showing. So thank you for stopping me for a moment so that everybody can see. Okay, they see it. Michael's saying he sees it. Perfect.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. I had to enlarge my screen. I can see it. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dr. Chyna. I want to make sure everybody's able to see everything. So you guys, yes, so that's the sessions. The feature that she just had me highlight, these are the sessions. It can be important to know what session you're in for the strategy you're trading. Now, I know for Dr. Kathy's session, she primarily trades London and New York, but I know some of her people trade the Asia and Aussie session as well. So some strategies like Dr. Kathy's can work for multiple sessions. And it's just good to know little things like that. But again, you may not know this, just understand the videos you watch, like the one I pointed you to for Dr. Kathy's video. That's going to tell you what sessions to use and what sessions to not use. Those videos are your rule books, your playbooks, if you will, okay? Now, the other feature I was just pointing out is the trade ideas. Now, the trade ideas are where our educators on IML TV, which I'll show you in just a moment, they go on and they say, hey, this is my idea. if you'd like to follow this idea, you can go ahead. Sheriff's got a pretty good way about calling trades, and this is where the analysis is done for you, by the way. So you can just take these trades, copy and paste. You don't actually have to do anything to analyze if you don't want to. That's kind of nice, because some of you who are new, maybe the analysis part's a little overwhelming, or maybe if you're building, which I know a lot of you are, you may want to recommend an easy feature to start somebody off on so that they can kind of get the hang of things and then put them into more of the analyzing and stuff, right? I know with some of the people I've trained in this company, that's how I kind of start them. I start them on a trade idea type feature, and then we roll them into the more analytical type features that require a little bit more from yourself, right? And we can find that over here on the left-hand side of the screen. Now, this button is really just for settings. This is for tools, and this little guy right here, this can hide the chart. Now, some of you may find that you don't like the Web Analyzer chart, that you want to specifically use TradingView or MetaTrader for. That's okay. You can make the Web Analyzer smaller, pop your chart up to the right or left, right next to it, and then just use whatever chart and take the calls on the Web Analyzer. That's an option. And then when you're sick of that and you want to come back to the Web Analyzer, you're welcome to just refresh and everything will go back to the way it was, okay? It's also really important to note this feature up here, right? I showed you this feature. This was I click this and it goes to this page. This is a good page where if you have a downline who's brand new, plug them into this page because it'll tell them about the Web Analyzer. It'll help them join the Facebook group. It'll help them join the Telegram, the YouTube where we post trainings, which is this right here. YouTube, this channel right here, okay, this link. This is where we have all the Web Analyzer trainings. Dr. Kathy's trainings are on here, power trade trainings, even customer testimonials, which can be useful for you guys while you're building show testimonials. We've got a couple people on there who have quit their jobs. Results not typical. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. But we do have some people on here who have told about how they quit their jobs and other people with various results. It'll also show you how to set up a demo account, getting to know the Web Analyzer, picking strategies, even the IML TV schedules, right? So this is a good way to get started. This is a feature, this little yellow bell that you don't want to miss because, look, you guys, I know on this call, you guys have lives, right? Some of you are just getting off work. Some of you are about to go to work. Some of you have kids. You're putting them to bed or you just put them to bed. Some of you guys have significant others. Some of you don't. Some of you guys have businesses, right? My point that I'm getting to is you guys are all people with busy lives and things to do, right? So you don't want to miss out on alerts for these trades and for these setups. So a way to not do that and a way to make sure you always catch the alerts is to click this yellow button and subscribe to the Web Analyzer Telegram. We primarily use it for alerts. Every once in a while, we'll post, hey, we're getting on a webinar, hey, we're getting on a training. But other than that, that's really all it's used for. So it's important to be subscribed to that, okay? The nice thing, you guys, is because this software can be used on your desktop or on your mobile phone, you can actually go to the beach, log in on your phone, and because you're subscribed to the alerts, you can get an alert and be like, oh, hey, I'm at the beach and it's money-making time. Log into the Web Analyzer on your phone, do your little 30-second analysis, and boom, be in and out of the trade, or just set it and forget it, walk away, go back to the sand, and put your sand in the toes and enjoy the sun. Enjoy the waves, right? It's a beautiful thing. And that's part of how you make sure that you do that. The trade idea we just had someone ask is right here, where I'm highlighting on my mouse, right here, okay? Now, some other features that I want to point out to you guys are the ability to switch between Forex, cryptocurrency, indices, and metals. So on the Web Analyzer, we were actually the first in the company to launch a crypto product. When we launched the crypto side of the Web Analyzer, we actually called it the Crypto Analyzer, but we there was no swipe coin and swipe trades wasn't doing crypto yet. So what I'm pointing out right here is this bottom little portion where it says trading, okay? If you click these little buttons, you can switch crypto, okay? You can to index alerts. So you can see right here, that now I'm analyzing XMR, USD, and you can use these same strategies on the crypto alerts, okay? So a lot of these same strategies work for your crypto alerts, which is beautiful. And then we have indices as well. Indices are things like the US 30, the JPN 225, right? You guys have heard a lot of buzz about the US 30. I know you guys have heard a lot of buzz about the US 30 because we have other apps in the company that are just now starting to utilize the US 30. Whereas I think we've had it for about a year now with several different strategies. So it's a really cool thing to be able to pick a strategy, whether it's Dr. Kathy's or any of the other strategies we have, and apply them to these alerts, okay? And then we have metals as well. And what I mean by metals is like platinum, silver, we have gold in here. So you guys can kind of play around. You may find that you don't actually like trading Forex. You like trading the Bitcoin calls. You may find that you don't like trading the Bitcoin or the crypto calls. You like trading the US 30 or the JPN 225, right? That may be more fun to you. Whatever the case may be, you have the ability to analyze multiple different assets. There's not many other apps in this company that allow you to analyze that many different assets, right? And I say assets because this US 30 and JPN 225 and some of these other indices are actually securities, whereas crypto and Forex would actually be currencies, right? And it's important to note stuff like that because when we need to know little bits of knowledge to properly be able to analyze and take the trades and everything. And as an educator, it's kind of my job to share with you guys all the knowledge that I can, right? So this is a cool little feature that you guys can cycle through these different assets and trade with your strategies that I showed you. And then we have this new feature called Power Trades. Now this is a feature that launched the beginning of this year, late last year, okay? Actually, Bounce Back, the Bounce Back app that you guys probably know and love, was actually a part of the web analyzer first, and then we separated it into its own experience. So you guys, Bounce Back was a power trade, and then we separated it, and we gave Stevenson Lindor and Lex Waves, and now Luis Fernando Key, the ability to teach you guys their experience of how to operate on Bounce Back. And I don't want to go too far into Bounce Back because we're focusing on Web Analyzer, but you still have the ability to do the old style Bounce Back. For some of you in this group, that's important because I know some of you love the old style Bounce Back. You still have the ability to do that.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Right, that never went away, by the way, Chyna.
Yes.
We kept that on here. So old style Bounce Back, for you OGs that love that strategy, we kept that on here. And you can utilize the MAM Power Trades templates, which are very much like the old style rules, okay? The old style rules of the old way of doing Bounce Back. You'll notice the indicators are very similar, okay? So you can analyze these trades and calls the old way. Now the new way is with Stevenson and Dre and Lex. So that's a separate experience, but the old way is right here for you guys. This is also a free feature, by the way. This is a free thing. Some of these power trades are paid add-ons, but this is free. And I want you guys to understand, Chyna can testify to this, and some of the other customers on here can testify to this. The old style Bounce Back generated an insane amount of testimonials and an insane amount of success with customers. Like, it was crazy. It was so crazy. So that's right here for you guys. Now we have some other things on here. Last week, we actually announced that Crypto Picasso has come to the Web Analyzer platform, and he's going to be educating on crypto on the Web Analyzer. This is his power trade. Now, what is a power trade? A power trade is, I explained to you guys how these red and green boxes work, where you have the strategies and rules that you apply to these red and green boxes. Well, a power trade has analysis and a strategy built in to each one of these calls. And then you use the chart and these indicators for like an extra qualification if you want. For example, the strategy and the things underneath the hood for the original Bounce Back, the original power trade, comes from Christopher Terry's. It's called market extrapolation, but they call it, something easier, a little sexier, right? It's just a way that Christopher Terry used to trade, mixed with my own secret sauce, if you will. We kind of stripped out a few things under the hood that's the old way it was taught and the old strategy that was floating around the company. We kind of stripped a little bit of that out because it was unnecessary, and we retuned it. But the point is, there's a strategy underneath the hood that's not the same as the indicators that you're using to qualify these trades, okay? And the indicators are really just here for visual reference on these power trades so that you can be done within like 10, 20, 30 seconds. The way that we can think about this is there are 3 tiers on the web analyzer. Tier number 1 is these red and green boxes with the different strategies. That would require probably a couple minutes of analysis. It's not a lot, but it's still more than, say, the power trades, which our goal is to require 30 seconds or less of analysis. And then that would be second tier. The third tier would be to require no analysis whatsoever. It's just copy and paste. And those are our trade ideas and our London payout paid add-on. Now, our London payout is our premium signals. They're a paid add-on that once you have the web analyzer, you go to your back office, your menu, your shopping cart, and you go on the web analyzer add-ons like London payout. Now, these have a really, really good success rate. In the last month, we've tracked about 2,000 pips, just about 2,000 pips, which whatever lot sizes you use, whatever risk management you use, you can kind of calculate how much money could have potentially made you. But just know 2,000 pips in a little less than a month is pretty freaking stellar. It's really, really good. And at the end of the day, we're all here to be net positive and win, right? And so going back to Crypto Picasso, for this, Crypto Picasso is going to teach something as simple as when you get the alert like this, like let's plot this. This was at 324, 2138. 324, 324. Let's go up here. 24. Let's go find 22nd, 24, 21, 38. Nope. Right in here, 2138, right in here. So just about in this candle, in between these 2 candles. Now you can see this called a buy, right? Oh, we need to switch this over to Bitcoin real quick, actually. Okay. 324. There we go, right in here. 2138. So how I'm tracking this is I'm looking at the UTC time and the price. Okay, the UTC time and the price. Now that's right in here on this candle, in between these 2 candles. Now 23 would have been down here, right here. So if you had taken this buy right here, which Crypto Picasso might teach something like, is the MACD getting ready to have pink bars? And is this near the buy zone? Is this squiggly line for the RSI near the buy zone? That would have been a yes within these 2 candles, right? Because these pink bars would have been going up. We already had a crossover upwards. Boom, we would have hopped in this buy, and you can see it climbed all the way up to here. From this low point down here at 40.2366 all the way up to here. Super awesome, you guys. He's going to teach basically how to qualify those trades. Now, when you practice for just a minute, you're going to be able to see, okay, pink bars, yes, right? Pink bars, it's down there. Okay, great. Pink bars, it's down there. Boom, hop in. Done, right? 30 seconds or less is the goal on these power trades. That's the goal we want to get you guys to. And each one of these power trades is a unique experience of a strategy and a qualifying experience, okay? So they're a way to catch extra pips. They're a way to have less analysis and kind of hit that tier 2 of the web analyzer. And then again, there's that tier 3 where for some of you guys, you just don't want to do any analysis whatsoever. You don't have the time in the day. That's totally fine. You just want something like the London payout or the trade ideas where you're just copying and pasting these numbers, right? Copying, pasting these numbers. You can see all these TP2 smash, TP3 hit. I mean, it's just so beautiful, right? Let me see. What other features can we go over with you guys? That's the majority of the features. Do you guys have any questions?
Hey, Steve, I do have a few questions. I just want to kind
Perfect.
of narrate a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was a phenomenal training, by the way. I took a lot of notes. I'm just learning about this tool, by the way, guys. So if you're just learning about it, we're in the same place. So obviously
Amazing.
for the newer people, but I want to see if, you know, I know that you're the programmer. Are you a trader as well, Steve?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I actually designed the algorithms for these signals. So to be able to design the algorithms for the signals, you have to be able to understand trading well enough. Otherwise, how can you generate a profitable signal? So for me, so I showed you that Crypto Picasso one, right? For me to be able to design a signal that calls this buy right here at this low point, because if it called the buy down here, that's not going to be so profitable, right? Which, to disclaim you guys, sometimes the signals are not good. Every once in a while, you get a misfire. But for the majority, all of these signals are usually between 70 to 80% or higher in accuracy. And I'm talking about these ones, okay? We spend a lot of time on each one of these experiences. But for me to be able to do that, I've got to know enough about trading to be able to write an algorithm that generates that signal. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So here's a question, because I totally had the web analyzer all wrong. I am, you know, I love the packaging of it. Just being up here, being able to explain this. I mean, how smart do you look and do you have to be, right? It's so exciting to stand in front of people and show them that you can explain this. But I was so happy just to hear the sound. So when a cha-ching went up, I'm like, okay, great, let's take the trade. Let's put in the buy, let's put in the sell. And my husband was like, no, you can't just put the trade in because the cha-ching went off and it says buy. I'm like, yeah, it says potential buyer. Sell. No, you can't do that. So if a person was looking at this that's kind of new and the web analyzer created the amazing sound that we love to hear, and they're deciding to trade with Dr. Kathy's strategy, which is the ECC 11, right? For Ecclesiastes.
ECC 11 for Ecclesiastes 11.
Right. So if that was the case, what would be the first thing that they do if it come up and it said, bam, sell Euro CAD, 15-minute chart? I know it says 5, but that says 15-minute chart. Should I then go, would my system already be set to her system on default like you did? And it would automatically kind of show me the RSI. I can see if it's oversold or overbought. I can look at that MACD. Like, what would be the first, like, can you walk me through 3 to 5 practical steps that a new person should do? Because seeing this all at one time, it's a lot. So yeah, I'm looking at it. It alerted me. It said to sell or buy a particular currency pair. What's 3 to 5 things that I need to do before deciding if I'm going to enter the trade?
Absolutely. Okay, you guys. So just so we have, because I know this is being recorded, I'm going to say this next sentence so that the recording can be split in the future if it ever needs to. But this is going to be a little 3 to 5 steps on how someone could take the next step of opening the web analyzer and using something like the Dr. Kathy ECC 11 strategy, okay? So the first thing we might want to do is definitely make sure to apply her strategy. That's step number 1, and it has to be done. There's no getting around that. Because we have so many different strategies.
Where did you go for that?
Absolutely. So in the bottom left corner, there's 2 places you can access this. Or in the bottom left corner, we see the power trades. Then to the right, we see trading. But then we see strategy. I'm highlighting it right now. Can you see this?
Yes.
Perfect. That's place number 1. Or place number 2 is in the settings, the gear on the left-hand side. Either one will do. You can click either one, and it's going to pop up a little pop-up window. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So in this pop-up window, this is basically the settings that configure the web analyzer. Now, keep in mind, I did say we're kind of redesigning the way this experience goes to make it much, much more simple. But for now, you come in this drop-down, and you choose ECC 11, and you click Save Settings and Reload. Now watch, the chart's going to change. This is very important to watch. So let's flip this back over here and analyze something like this. Okay? Now, on this, we see that the indicators changed, right? We see that the indicators changed. So the next thing that has to be done for Dr. Kathy's strategy is you have to configure these settings. And I want to, I can't remember what are the numbers, but I think she's posted them on here actually. Let's find those numbers real quick. Actually, I think I have them on my phone. Let's go ahead and apply those settings. I know this one is 13. This is, let's see. Let's go find the video. And this is the process, by the way, as a new customer, you would want to go through to be able to understand how to configure the web analyzer, how to set it up. So if I open Dr. Kathy's video, and we'll scroll through it. We're not going to watch all of this, but we scroll through it. And we'll just mute it because we want to see her open up this right here. So this is Dr. Kathy herself teaching 6/13/26. So this is the step number 2. 6/13/26. Okay, and then she, I know, likes to put the conversion line, and we're taking this straight out of her playbook as red, and this baseline as blue. Okay, so I'm showing you how she teaches it. So we're going to set this to red, this to blue. Now, one really important thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click default, save as default. Now, if you're on the phone, turn your phone sideways and this little drop down will appear, okay? It's important because if you're on the phone, this little drop down right here, it tends to hide itself. And that's important. So then you'll notice everything starts looking a little bit different. Okay, so the next step you might analyze is Dr. Kathy says a couple of different rules. Let's read these rules out loud because she's given me these rules in her phone. So let's read them straight from her. Okay, step number 1, check the entry on the web analyzer, which we have. We've clicked EuroGBP on M5. Step number 2, check to see if the red line has crossed above or below the blue line. Now, what is the red and blue line? Let's zoom in, okay? What is the red and blue line? We can see there's a red line and a blue line. And we can see both of them are flat together right now, okay? But you can see right here that the red line over here was above or below the blue line. So I just kind of want to show an example, right? Red line is above the blue line. Over here, right now, it's flat, okay? Step number 3, if it has crossed on the 15-minute, you're going to want to look at a 10 pip, okay? A 10 pip buy or sell.
Hey, Steve, before we go to step number 2, 3, can you tell me number 2 again?
Yes, ma'am. Step number 2 is check to see if the red line has crossed above or below the blue line. And that, let me highlight that red or blue line a little bigger for us. Let's see here. Make this a little bigger. Let's change the thickness here. Now keep in mind, I changed the colors of the red and blue lines. So if you just come in and you just apply her strategy without changing these settings, you see I see Ichimoku, and then I'm clicking this gear. If you don't change these colors and settings to how I'm changing them right now, you may not get the same results as Dr. Kathy. And that's important that we match what she does.
Do we leave the lagging line green?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We leave the lagging line green. I know that in here we can check. We can double check right here.
Yeah.
And then she quits it. So we're good.
Yeah.
And then, so step number 3 is if we're on the 15-minute time frame, she tends to go for about 10 pips if we're on the 15-minute time frame. Sorry, not the 10, the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, she's only looking at 3 to 5 pips. So that's an important distinction, you guys. If we're on a 5-minute call, we may only be looking for 3 to 5 pips on a 5-minute call. On a 15-minute call, like something down here, we may be looking for 10 pips, okay? Now on a one note that she has for step number 5, you can trade anytime the red line crosses the blue line, okay? Anytime the red line crosses the blue line, and if it crosses within the cloud, you may have a pullback, or it could be congestion, okay? So what that means is it may be a time when you wouldn't want to take the trade, or just understand you might have a pullback, which means if you're buying, you might have the market move a little bit further down and go against you before it comes back up for your 3 to 5 pips, okay? So if we saw this 7 minutes ago, the time is 2:57. This was called at 2:50. So right in here, okay, we can see that the blue and red lines are flat. The red line is not above each other, so we would not take this call according to her rules. And the red and blue lines are within the cloud, therefore we may have congestion. What does that look like? Let's point out what congestion looks like. So this is very, very simple and clear. Congestion looks like this. Let me plot this for you guys. Congestion looks like this. You see how this is just kind of going up and down and kind of flat? It doesn't look like this, right? Yeah. Where it goes down far. It looks kind of flat. That's congestion. And so the way she's saying to note that is if the red line was above the blue line, we would want to trade, but it's not. Does this make sense so far, Dr. Chyna?
It does. It makes a lot more sense. And I appreciate you kind of going through what we're looking for, particularly with her strategy.
Yes, particularly with her strategy. Now, other strategies may differ, but this is for the ECC11 strategy.
Sure. Gotcha. So those are the main 3 things that we are looking for when the alert comes out to decide for number 1. The alert came out. Let's make sure we have the proper settings. Let's make sure that we go down to the bottom where it says strategy, or to the side on the setting 2 that we're clicking ECC11. We also want to make sure that we go to the top in the setting bar that's next to the Ichimuchi to make sure that we have the 6, 13, 26. And then, so is it 6, 13, 26, 13?
I've seen her use 26 and 13 interchangeably. I've seen different users change this. These are the main ones you have to get right. You have to.
Okay.
But this one, I've seen different users use 13 and 26. The colors on the top 2 are very, very important because the default color, let's reset this to default. Okay, the default was blue and red, but we changed this one to red and then blue. See how if you don't have that right, you could really mess up?
Gotcha.
We don't want to mess up. We want to be trading like Dr. Kathy. So 6, 13, 26, and I've seen her use 13 and 26 on this to just see how that changes the chart. Let's kind of do something like set this to 13. Notice how there's not much of a difference. Set this to 26. Notice how there's not much of a difference.
Sure.
But we save as default. We click OK.
Perfect. So once I do that, then now I'm just simply looking to see if the red line crosses the blue line, whether or not it's in the cloud or not in the cloud can determine if it's going to be congestion, if it's going to cause some pullback. And then that is the indication that I need to determine if I'm going to take this potential buy or not.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's correct.
Basically 30-second, 60-second scan, if you will, to determine if you're taking this.
Yeah, maybe 2 minutes tops. You know, probably for some users, it may be around a couple of minutes because keep in mind, you won't have the setup time. Once you set up these little settings and you click save as default, it's already set up. But yeah, I would say maybe a couple minutes tops of analysis for checking the lines, checking if it's in the cloud, checking all of that stuff, right?
Will it always be Hikanashi candles or because it's her strategy, or is that something we have to change?
Now, if you want to use Hikanashi candles, let's say Dr. Kathy says, yes, you need to use Hikanashi candles, right? So if it says that, you can come and apply. Now, in here, she doesn't usually use Hikanashi candles in the training video, but if you ever find that you want to use them, you can definitely come here and apply them. These are regular candles, by the way, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. So finally, the RSI at the bottom, does she train on it being oversold, overbought? Is there any significance there, or mainly just the red and blue candles crossing?
Mainly the red and blue candles, but what the RSI can do is kind of help you give a gauge, from my understanding at least. And I would implore every one of you to make sure after this video, after this training, you watch this video to get a very clear understanding from Dr. Kathy herself. Now, I pasted you the video from Facebook in the chat, you guys. So make sure, I'll paste it one more time. Make sure you watch this training because it's from Dr. Kathy herself. So anything that's coming from me is more regurgitating what she's taught, whereas you have the ability to learn straight from the source, if that makes sense.
Perfect. I'm excited. This was amazing. Guys, the web analyzer provides so many different layers. So there's so much. This one tool. Let's talk about, Steve, how a person can add this to their experience if they don't have it yet, the cost of it. We see the benefit. Obviously, you got power trades. You got so many different strategies on here. He mentioned a little bit about the bounce back before it changed. I remember the bounce back before it changed. We absolutely loved it. We didn't even fully understand why it changed because it was so effective. And so I love the idea that we still get to get that experience. Now, if we got that experience before you tell them how they can get this tool added on, was that by clicking power trades? How do we go back to, what is that considered now?
Yes, ma'am. So originally, when Bounce Back first launched in that old way, right, at the end of last year, that was in the power trade section, but it was the only power trade in the web analyzer. So right now it's represented as an O, okay? The original power trade. Original power trade. And you click that right here and it'll bring up. Now again, to analyze it this way, because you're right, Dr. Chyna, there are many layers to this trading machine, right? You would do the same thing, right? Let me close Telegram for you guys so it's not bugging us with all the alerts. But you would do the same thing. You would click on here and you would take the rules, right? You would take the rules from that old style of doing things. You would go check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, boom, jump in the trade, don't jump in the trade. And a good way to find those rules is actually on the same YouTube channel right here. If we go down here, we made Michael Angel Martin made a training video for how to do this because the old way of doing things was done a lot with Michael Angel Martin. I'm not sure if you knew that, Dr. Chyna.
Yeah.
So I'll give you guys this video as well because this is a really, really good video on how you can utilize these original bounce back trades in the old style, of doing it.
I like that a lot. So guys, just for clarity, there's two different things that we just talked about over the last 5 minutes. One was Dr. Kathy's strategy with Ecclesiastics, ECC 11. And then I asked the question about the old bounce back strategy, which you can find under power trades as the O. So I don't want you to confuse the two. As you can see, the charts look slightly different, but that's the beauty in having the web analyzer. This one tool gives you a plethora of different strategies that you can really identify with and find out what works best for you. Also, another thing that's amazing is that there's always education and a video on how to effectively use it. So whatever you didn't retain here tonight, it's okay. It's not expected for you to come on here and retain everything. It's just really expected that you have now some direction on how you can get comfortable with this tool, as well as find out how you can learn more information about it. No worries. I'm excited about us exploring the web analyzer, so you won't see Steve Hooley for the last time. You'll continue to see him within the Rich University community. So this is something that if you have interest in, our goal is to help you to become savvy at using this tool so that you can become a lifelong profitable trader with the help of this amazing technology.
Absolutely. And might I add that we have a ton of people winning on it. When we launched in November of 2017, within 90 days, we had hundreds of testimonials. In almost 2 years, we've got thousands of testimonials. And where do you find those? You guys can just go to that Web Analyzer Facebook group that I told you about. You can see the link right here. Go in here, and number one, ask your questions. Don't just hit Dr. Chyna up and wait for a response, because she's a busy lady and she's got a lot that she has on her plate. Come to this group and ask questions, because guess what? Dr. Kathy herself, who designed the strategy I showed you, right? She is in this group. She can answer your questions. I can answer your questions. This is a great place to get help. And it's also a great place to see other customers posting their wins. See, this customer is telling you that she won 35 out of 1, right? This customer is telling you how wowed they are of the accuracy. This customer is telling you the same thing, right? There's lots of people who are both posting questions, 10 out of 13, 2 out of 2 in the last hour, right? 7 out of 8. Now, we make no guarantees. I want to make this clear. Dr. Chyna's not making you any guarantees. I'm not. IML's not. Nobody's making you guarantees. But what we are telling you is you can see for yourself what is happening with other customers and their results that they're getting. And there are a lot of winners on the Web Analyzer. So if you have any questions, if you need to know anything, come to the group and ask. Don't get left out, because I promise you, we want you all to win. And I think Dr. Chyna could agree.
Absolutely, most definitely. I'm excited. Steve, do you ever trade inside of that community together? I know sometimes, Dr. Kathy, we have our own app as well for the team that we are trading in. Sometimes I'm just wondering if it's a live experience where you guys trade as well?
Yeah, and I've actually talked to a couple of my educators, and for example, I've even talked to Dr. Kathy, where we're going to be doing some live trading with different educators, because different educators have their different strategies, right? Going to start doing some live trading with different educators in that Facebook group. So absolutely, yeah, we'll be doing that.
Awesome. I'm excited. This was good. Any questions from anyone else? Whether you type them in or if you just want to verbally ask those questions, now is the time. This was amazing so far. I am just looking forward to celebrating everyone in their profits here. So go ahead and unmute if you have any questions out there.
So I had
Great job, Steve, by the way.
Hi, this is Michael. I had a question on her strategy. It says ECC 11, then it has FX in parentheses. Is it only good for Forex?
Originally, she had her strategy for Forex, but there have been a few people who've recently tried it on crypto and had some success. So it says FX because it was originally launched for Forex. But on this video, I did mention that you could use different strategies on crypto, and hers is one that some users have tried. Does that help answer your question?
Yes. Yes, it did. Thank you.
Awesome. So what Michael's pointing out, just for the rest of you as well, you may notice that some of these say FX and FX crypto. Yes, generally speaking, if it doesn't say crypto, it's probably not intended for crypto. Now, I want to be clear. Just because it's not intended does not mean it doesn't work. It just means it was not necessarily designed for crypto or Forex. For example, Crypto Picasso. This strategy that he teaches could work on Forex, but it was not designed for Forex. So you guys are able to use any of these strategies on anything you want. We're just kind of giving you the indication of this is what it was designed for.
And how do they get this tool as an add-on if a person doesn't have access to the Web Analyzer right now? What can they do to gain access to it?
I'm glad you asked. This is very easy. Log into your IML back office, click under the menu, click Shopping Cart, add on the Web Analyzer, you're done.
Gotcha. And how much is it as an add-on?
I believe it's $21. It's the same price as most of the other add-ons in the company.
Amazing, I feel like you're getting like 5 products, if not more, in one.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, each one of these is a product. If I'm being honest, each one of these is its own product. So for example, let's put this into perspective. What is IML Pivots? IML Pivots is a pivot scanner, right? It's a scanner, so to speak. Well, each one of these are scanners, each one.
Wow.
They're all scanning with a different strategy and a different way to get an entry in the market, each one of these.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. And so some of these, like for example, the London Payout, this is a signal service, right? This is a trade idea service. So this is done all for you. You don't have to do any analysis. You copy and paste. Thor is one where you will do like 30 seconds of analysis or less on Thor. Okay, and Triple Fire is the same thing. London Payout, Thor, Triple Fire, and Money Flow are all $7 add-ons to the web analyzer. So to put that in perspective, that would be less than $30 if you got, say, Triple Fire and you get the web analyzer first and then Triple Fire. That'd be less than $30. Other add-ons in the company for other apps are either $21 to $50 plus a $10 add-on. So my goal with the web analyzer is I understand that most of you guys are hardworking people who you save every penny you can and you want to spend it on something wise and you want to get the most bang for your buck. So I try to keep things as, I don't want to say cheap as possible, but as cost effective as possible for you so that you know you can spend your money in a place that's not asking you to spend too much, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this has been amazing. Any other questions?
Yeah. You guys can put them in the chat or unmute yourselves. I want to make sure basically that you guys, if you can't walk away from this training and get started with this software, that you ask me a question. Because if you can't walk away from here and start practicing, start doing something, then please take the time to ask right now, and no questions are stupid.
Okay. I'm Charles Chapman. I'm very new. I haven't even got a chance to really like trade much. I've only been doing the demo. Do I only have the opportunity to do it this way from my computer, or can I do this from my phone also?
You can absolutely do it from your phone. Go to imlwebanalyzer.com in your mobile web browser like Chrome or Safari, and boom.
Okay. I'll rewatch the video and try to play with it. I don't want to waste all your time. I'm sure you're busy, but I'm gonna try my best to do it because I'm just doing the demo trading right now because I'm not really too sure when to always get in and get out. I just finished my 24 video, so I'm trying to learn how to actively trade before I really start using my money.
You're a smart man. You're a very smart man. Using demo is awesome because think about this. You can practice and practice and practice till you're getting it right a lot of the time without ever wasting a penny, without ever losing a single actual penny of your own money. You can get good at what you're doing, and then when you start with real money, you already know what you're doing. That's
exactly. Yeah, I was gonna build my confidence, and I made profit a couple of times doing a demo, but I didn't know what I was doing. I understood the pullback, and when it's at a high, you want to sell. When it's at a low, you want to buy, and I just kind of watched it, just kind of see what it was gonna do. But I don't really understand the concepts. I'm really gonna try the Dr. Kathy's method. I want to get the little setup, the little thing like you said, it will tell you when to pull a trigger, and the default. I'm gonna try my best to set it up. I'm gonna give it my upline Sharita. She's really techy. Hopefully she can help me get that set up, and I try with the web analyzer also because I love the little cha-ching, and that'll be a good way to keep up with it.
Absolutely, man. I really look forward to seeing all your awesome results. And when you do have results, please come post them in this Facebook group so we can celebrate with you. And if you have any questions, of course, come post them here, okay?
Yes, I just added myself to the link. Well, I don't know if they added me yet. I just put my username, so hopefully they accept me.
Oh, of course we'll accept you.
All right.
Here you go. I'll accept you right now.
Hi, Stephen. How are you? This is Dr.
Yeah, this is Godlove. Okay. Somebody's on.
Yeah, Stephen, can you hear me? This is Dr. Katari.
I can. How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. First of all, thank you so much. This is really a wonderful training. So for me myself, is really clarify a lot of things when I'm training with Dr. Kathy. I have one more. The question I have is, when it say time frame. So for example, say GBP and it said a 1.31954. So do we get into when the time is said? That's one thing like I don't understand. Like, do we have to enter in that time, or how do we use that? Because you always say make sure you look at that time. Everything else I understand.
Sure. So this is a really important question. So I just want to say thank you for asking this. This is your reference price. This is the price that the alert on the web analyzer was called at. Now, for some strategies, you want to enter as close to this price as possible. And the video you watch that tells you about the strategy and its rules will tell you if that's the case. For other strategies, it's just your reference price, and you will not actually enter until the squiggly lines and the indicators have lined up in the way that the strategy tells you. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if you have any other questions, please let me know, okay?
Okay.
Hi, this is Godlove. Steve, can you hear me?
I sure can, brother.
Oh, thank you so much. I've been using this with Dr. Kathy, and I just wanted to say that this is what I use every day to trade. I'm so grateful for this tool because every time I sit and I'm doing something, once I hear that sound, I go in and I put my trade immediately, and I'm guaranteed 10 pips. So I'm just so grateful that you were able to explain it again to all our people, because this is something which I'm trying to promote within my team. So I just wanted to thank you for the clarifications today.
Refer.
I would just like to say to you that thank you so much for coming on and letting everybody know that you're having success, that you're wanting to promote this, and I just appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you. It works, and it works very well for me. Thanks.
That's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for your support, brother. Does anybody else have any other questions? Really, guys, if you can't walk away from this training ready to get started, knowing what to do next, now is your time. Seriously, don't wait on the sidelines and stay quiet. This is your financial future that you're thinking about right now. This is your financial future that hangs in the balance right now, and all you got to do is reach out and ask me a question, and there's no stupid questions.
I think you did an amazing job, Steve. For many of them, as you can hear, they're already trading. Hey, Marion, did you have a question? You want to come in?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt y'all.
No worries. Go right ahead.
I just want to know a little bit. Did y'all already go over like the strength? Does the straddle or the strangle strategy apply to any of this stuff, or is like what you said before? Like it applies to all the markets across the board. It doesn't matter.
Which strategy?
Like it's called the straddle and the strangle.
The straddle and the strangle. So I have not heard of the straddle and the strangle. However, one thing you could do is let me know what the indicators are, and I can make a strategy template, and then you can practice that strategy on these alerts. And if it works, make a video and let's push it out to the team. See, that's the beautiful thing about this software, guys, is you can pretty much introduce any new idea or strategy to it and practice it. And if it works really well, we can blast it out to everyone and share. That's how most of these strategies in this list got added to this. Somebody just started practicing some indicators and some rules, and it worked really well, and it just went big.
Well, I think it's genius, man. I plan on incorporating that into it, man. That's a genius idea, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for your support. Somebody did ask a question in the chat, actually. So Martha said, yes, thank you. I love this already. I am new and I have faith. I'm super grateful you have faith.
Thank you.
Results.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Isaiah says, what would you do if it calls a buy and sell on the same pair? Ooh, this is a good question. Dr. Chyna, do we have time to answer this, or do we need to wrap this up?
Yeah, let's answer that one, and then we'll wrap up. We know we'll definitely have you back on here for more, guys. Once again, the goal in the Rich University family is to bring as much value as possible. We know that we have incredible tools, but I'm excited that there's so many different layers here. So we know that we can't get it all in one setting, but let's answer that question, and then we definitely plan to have you back on.
Absolutely. So you guys, this is why this is a great, great question. And I hope you guys are taking notes. So if you were to get a buy and a sell on the same pair, now what do I mean by the same pair? I mean this right here. Let's say you see a buy and a sell on NZD USD. What do, right? This is a really good question. Well, number one, the first thing I want to know is, was the buy and sell on two different time frames? Why do I want to know this? Okay, I want to know this because let's say I had a buy on NZD USD on the M15 time frame, the minute 15, right? Let's say I had a sell on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, why would I care about this? Because if the market is telling me that there is a good sell or a potential sell or a potential buy on the 15-minute, that can be what's called a mini trend, a mini uptrend, okay? A mini uptrend. But on the 5-minute, the market could be temporarily moving downwards, but that doesn't mean that overall on the 15-minute that the market won't move upwards. So what does this really mean for you as traders? Because this concept can be slightly confusing sometimes. It means that even if you have a trend going up, right, a trend going up, it doesn't mean you can't catch little moves going downwards. So if the 15 is a buy, overall you could be in a buy and catch a little 5-minute move down really quick. The important thing to understand is this would probably be counter trend trading, in which case all you really need to know is that this is a quick in and out, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, but that sound like the strangle strategy I was just talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I honestly think we should get together and talk about that and see if there's a way to apply it for the web analyzer, because it sounds like maybe the concept could already be used on it, okay? Does that sound good?
Yes, sir. Excellent.
Cool. Awesome. Now, the next thing I'd want to make sure I pay attention to is if there's a buy or sell called on the same pair, right? The same pair, but on two different strategies, I'm honestly going to not pay attention as much because each of these strategies does things a different way. Some of these strategies are going to be quick in and out scalps, right? Some of these strategies on here are very quick in and out scalps. So it might be okay to take a quick buy on the pair, but another strategy may be a more of a swing trade or an intraday trade. What that means is if I say swing, I mean it's going to take a couple of days or more for the trade to process and get from start to finish. If it's an intraday, it's going to take a few hours, okay? So if it's happening on different strategies, I'm not going to pay so much attention to whether or not I should be taking a buy and sell on the same pair. What I'm going to be paying attention to is this, and I'll tell you, risk management. I want to be using consistent, and this is my opinion, of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice for myself or iMarkets Live. But in my opinion, I'm going to be making sure I use really good risk management so that, let's say, hypothetically, I've got a $100 account. And let's say, hypothetically, I get a bounce back trade for a buy. Well, I know that if it's a bounce back trade on a higher time frame, it's going to be a swing trade, okay? This is just knowledge I know that I've gained through experience that you'll gain too. So I'm going to make sure I use, say, on a $100 account, I might use a 0.01, maybe a 0.03, something small, primarily so my account can handle the swing of the market. Now, let's say the Thor strategy, which is a really hot strategy right now, let's say the Thor strategy, it calls a sell on the same exact pair, but its sell is on a little bit smaller time frame. I'm not going to pay attention to that it's a sell and a buy on the two different strategies so much as the risk management, because the Thor could be calling, let's put this into a visual real quick, okay? Let's say that we have this move up, okay? We have this move up. And let's say that the bounce back calls the buy. The bounce back calls the buy, okay? But the Thor strategy calls this little sell. You can see how if I got the sell right here, I could win on that move. I could win on this little move if I took the Thor strategy sell, and I could win on the buy overall at the same time. Does this make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. So, hey guys, here's what we're going to do. We are, first of all, Steve, you did an amazing job. Thank you for breaking that down. I'm super excited about all of this information. Guys, make sure that you are in the Facebook page so that you can connect and communicate and learn about the different strategies. If this, for whatever reason, remember, you're not here to be overwhelmed. So everybody's at different levels. Take what you can and just know that we will continue to have education provided for you guys. So let's show Steve Hooley some love by putting your 3s in the chat for him. Show him some love. We thank him for coming on and spending some time with us tonight. We'll keep you posted when he'll be back. Put your 3s in the chat. Let's light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. It's been absolutely amazing. Steve, we really appreciate you breaking this down. I know I got a lot of clarity. I took a lot of notes, and I'm definitely looking forward to applying it myself. And I know many people will be applying this information as well. Check the chat out. They're definitely showing you some love in the chat. So we're excited. I also want to say to Regina, thank you so much, Regina. Say again?
Oh, I was just saying that we've got quite a few people on here saying thank you. We did an amazing job. You know, we, of course, because this was a training with you, me, together. So I appreciate you very much, Dr. Chyna.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again.
We appreciate you, Chris. Steve.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we appreciate Regina as well. Dr. Regina is doing an amazing job. She's been able to really start trading with Dr. Kathy, see some results in her live account, get the confidence to transition from her demo account to her live account. So I'm very grateful for Dr. Regina, who's doing an amazing job with her team, just really in the trenches and building, very hands-on, not making any excuses. Working very closely with Steve. And so we're very grateful because that's one of the ways that this call actually got set up. And I'm just excited about the history that's going to be made as well. Dr. Regina, are you out there?
Oh, her mic is not set up. But yeah, I've been working very close with Dr. Regina. So I'd like to give her a special thank you and a shout out. We've actually been working on, Dr. Gina and I have been working on the London payout that I showed you guys earlier. She's been doing this, and then the Dr. Kathy strategy, and she's been doing awesome. So you guys, I just want to say how grateful I am for her as well.
Awesome sauce. So guys, with that being said, we're about 30 minutes after the top of the next hour. We had a phenomenal training. This will be on the Rich University YouTube page, so you can definitely go back and review this over and over again. It should be up no later than tomorrow. Go back and review it. We won't get into too many announcements because we're 30 minutes after the top of the next hour. I know on the West Coast, on the East Coast, it's almost midnight. But for those of you who have people in the Atlanta area, we're doing a Forex Masterclass tomorrow. We put the details inside of the team app. Make sure you go in there, get the details. If you have not RSVP'd for your guests, everybody must RSVP to gain access to it. It will be at the Rich University Buckhead office here in Atlanta. So make sure if you are planning to come or you have team members that, or rather guests that are planning to come, that they do RSVP. And stay tuned. We'll continue to bring you a lot of value on this call. Make sure that you have your alerts on your phone that will notify you every single Monday night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are here providing you different strategies and techniques and trainings to help you to grow and be very, very successful in your iMarkets Live experience. So once again, this is recorded. You will have an opportunity to see the playback on the Rich University YouTube page, the Rich University YouTube page, as well as stay tuned. Make sure your alerts are on in the team app so that you can be updated with everything that's happening and you are not delayed. So with that being said, I'm super duper excited. I thank each and every one of you guys for being on here, excited about hearing the success and many of you being able to celebrate us being able to celebrate you guys in your success in this space. So with that being said, thanks so much for being on. It has been an amazing call. Thanks again, Steve, for coming in. We'll let you know and looking forward to you coming back on. We will also have you on the morning call as well because we're looking forward to making some big things happen with the web analyzer. So, all right, guys, thanks again. Have a fantastic night. Make it a super fantastic week. God bless you guys.
You too. God bless you too, sister.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Thank you for having us. It was great.
Awesome sauce.
Thank you, Miss Chyna. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Chyna. Have a wonderful evening.
You're welcome, Dr. Katari. We love you guys.
Oh, we love you. Amen.
All right. God bless you all. Good night.
God bless you too, sweetie.